Well, made it back up here today to the double wide. Done a little mowing earlier. I believe it's 102 degrees out here, it said. So it's hot, but I got a good shaded spot down here. Not much air moving, but it's not too bad. I step inside the basement door there, there's cool air. So I think I mentioned before that we had been to the Habitat for Humanity resale store, and we picked up this door there. It's fiberglass with the wood core, I believe. So the plan is to cut it down so it fits this hole. I'm gonna have to probably insert something back in this when I'm gonna have to cut it off, I believe, probably here, and then again on this a little bit, but I think I'll have to put a board across up inside there, kind of clean it out and slide one back up in there and reseal it. But I'm in the process of getting ready to rehang it on this piece of treated lumber. It's a piece of decking I had left. So I have 37 inches at the top and 36.5 at the bottom, so there's a ½ inch difference in top to bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is mount it to go ahead and get it mounted to this board. It's crookeder than a dog's hind leg. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got just enough good stuff to work for this. I might rip it actually and use part of it on the other side as a door close. So I'm going to go ahead and get that ripped down and mounted to this. I'm going to cut this door down and get it repaired inside there where I cut it, and then mount this and then try to get it mounted on there. And I think the way that thing is not square, it's uneven up through there. I think I'm just going to mount it from one side and then build the frame on around the door to make it just fit the door tight. I got a threshold down there too that's going to go under it. I need to get it screwed down, but I think what I'll do for the time being is just silicone it down, and then I don't know if I got a bit with me to drill into that concrete or not, so I think it might be at home. Anyway, I'm going to get it glued down when the time comes, and just leave it at that today and try to get this door put in there and sealed up a little better. I had thought at first I was gonna hinge that door going in, and then I just realized it drops down inside. The door won't open all the way if I hinge it towards the inside, so it's gonna have to come and hinge back out this way, which isn't gonna really change too much, but I was hoping to set it back in that opening just out of the weather a little bit better, and but that's is what it is, I guess. I don't really want to raise the mobile home up or shorten the door anymore. This is just a seal that I got to go around the inside of that. When I get the frame completely done in there, I can put this on there, and it's got a good seal for the door to butt into. So it's all stuff that you would get if you bought a door pre-hung, but they don't make a door pre-hung that's like that unless you order it and pay $800. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to tack that in there to where it'll shut against it.
Please like and subscribe.
Somebody keeps unplugging my saw. I wish Lisa was here so I could blame her for it. So I've kind of got to a stopping point here. It's a little after 6. on a Saturday night, so I've got quite a few tools to pick up here. I think I'm just going to bolt this door shut, but I'll show you a little bit of where I'm at. I've got to come back and tweak it a little more. So put this 1x in there is what I mounted the door to, and 2x up here, and I drove this in from behind to fill that gap, and it is against a part of the mobile home structure right up here, so, and it's drove in tight. This I need to trim just a little bit there, probably this corner of this one. I'll come back and do that here in a second and get it in there better. The threshold is just basically just sitting in there. I put a screw on either end of it like that. Just, there's nothing in the middle right now, and I'm gonna come back and probably drill it in like it's supposed to be. This is an adjustable threshold, so it can come up and down. And what I've got right now is it actually fits good right here. You can tell it's rubbing pretty hard right here on this side. So I'm gonna have to probably what I'll do is trim the door, because this is all out of kilter. The door is level right now, so you can see what this gap looks like. So I got it in square. This was up and down level over here. This side was off. So I'm gonna probably come back and take my skill saw and rip this 2x down. Maybe rip it back just a little bit right here and up to where I can get maybe a 1/2 inch board in there that'll fill this gap like it's supposed to, and screw it in, and then put a trim piece over it, and it'll hide all of that. I don't really know what else to do with it, and that'll give me a good place to put a striker and everything. So anyhow, and I think that's probably just the floor's not level down there. I don't have enough room there to really raise that threshold up and make it level, and I don't know that it matters all that much on it. I'll do something there. I'm not sure. I may pour a little concrete in to where it carries the outside of that threshold too. And anyhow, that's where I'm gonna quit for the day. It is a lot better than it was. When it's shut, it's sealed all around it, so that's what we're after. It's kind of done out of scrap wood and stuff, but it solves the problem, and it didn't cost a whole lot, so it didn't break the bank. So I made it back up here today. Plan today is to trim this, try to square this up right here, and get this other board ripped down and put in there to make that a better line, and then I can get my striker in down here. I went and bought a knob, but I forgot to get a plug. I was gonna get a screw-in plug for this just to seal it, because we're not real concerned about a bolt lock down here. But anyway, the plan is right now to rip this down just to, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch up here down to about 1/2 inch down at the bottom, and get that off there so that'll fit, and then I can put that together. I'm gonna go ahead and trim it. That's the plan. have quite a bit of this PVC board that's scrap. We was needing to trim a place back when you couldn't get any kind of lumber at all. We come across this PVC, which was pretty expensive for what we was doing, but not all that bad when you consider we didn't finish it or anything, because it had a good white finish and that's what we was wanting. And we trimmed some windows with it on the inside of a house. And matter of fact, it's a house we're living in, and one of these days we'll do a walkthrough of that place, because we're still doing some trim work on it, hit and miss. So we'll do a walkthrough of it anyhow, and I'll let you see that. But today I have a bunch of these pieces that are probably anywhere from 30 to 48 inches long. I think I'm gonna rip them down and trim this door with it. I'll have to have a splice on either side, but I'll just angle that splice down and to where the water will run on off over it, and I think it'll be just fine. I'll maybe put some caulk in there or something, but for what it is down here, it's a good place to use some of this up, and I think it'll hold up well. It's just water or anything won't harm it at all. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I got the door in, got it trimmed out, got it to working pretty good. I forgot to get the plug for this, but I'll get that and get it in there, but it's working good. The gap's a little better. It's actually just a little wide, but it seals good, and it's good enough for down here. There's no access to anywhere else in the house other than this room, this basement room, so I believe it'll be okay. I'll have to caulk in around that a little bit, but I'm gonna call it quits on this for today. Call it good and get these tools picked up. I think the next project here is going to be using this thing again, and I'm gonna got about 20 bags of concrete there. The ideal is to come over here and pour a 4 foot out and 6 foot wide pad right at this entrance, and eventually put a little lean-to shed over that, if that'll happen way in the future. This is going to happen possibly today, but that'll be another video. So appreciate you coming along, and would appreciate it if you'd like it and subscribe. We'd like for you to come along throughout this rebuild with us. We're going through this whole place and hopefully just make it over into a totally different looking place inside and out, and we've only just begun. So come along if you would, and we appreciate you coming this time and look forward to you again. Thank you.